Shit, she didn't even tell me. I just listening to the beat. Innocent guy. Damn. I'm over here trying to post shit on Instagram. Welcome to Make It Make Sense, motherfuckers. We are back. It's just me today hosting, but that's okay because, you know, we're going to make it make sense one way or another. And we got regular mics this time, not the wireless joints. So hopefully audio is good the whole time. And we've got some lovely ladies with us today, and we're going to have some fun. This is the podcast where I don't have to be right, but if you think I'm wrong, you need to make it make sense. Don't come in here with no bullshit. Don't come in here with no feelings, because feelings ain't facts. Don't nobody give a fuck how you feel, because everybody feels shit, and feelings are fleeting. So your mind will change just like your feelings. That being said, we've got some lovely ladies with us today, and we're gonna have them ask me some questions first, so we can, so they can dive into the mind of a man. I'm going to give them answers and tell them things that most of you motherfuckers won't tell them, because A, you're trying to fuck, and B, women can't handle the truth, and I'll get into that later. So, that being said, we're going to go around the table and introduce everybody. I need your name, age, what you do for a living, current dating status, and where you're from. And if you want to, body count.
Is it me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, my name is Sharisa. I am a corporate receptionist. I'm in a relationship, and I am from Wisconsin.
Hey, my name is Manny. I come originally from Chile, Chilean German. What do I do for a living right now? I'm just living. I'm a backpacker right now. 34 years old.
What's your dating situation?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Dating.
Okay. So single.
Single, dating, yeah.
Dating,
Actively
single
dating.
and looking.
Yeah.
Seeing people here and there. She didn't say situationship, so that just means she's open to meeting somebody.
All right. You heard it here. I'm just kidding. You heard it here. My name is Vanessa. I work with special needs kids as a speech pathology tech, and I'm in a relationship. And, oh, yeah, I'm 34.
Nice.
I'm 32.
Hey.
I knew I forgot something. I'm 31. Oh my gosh, I'm 31.
What? She's 31.
When is your birthday?
Oh, yeah, I'm 30.
25.
I take it back.
I hope so.
Sensational.
My name is Sierra.
Did you go live over there?
I am a post-op and OR tech, also a LMT. I am in a relationship. I am 30, and I think that was for all the questions. Yeah.
Dating status?
I said relationship.
Oh, okay. You said that.
Oh,
Where are
dang,
you
I
from?
missed that.
I'm from Arizona, so I'm born and raised Phoenix, Arizona. I
Me
lived like
too.
everywhere.
Burned and raised.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Higley and I went to Desert Hills.
Oh, shit.
What was
What side of town is that?
Yeah, what is that like?
It
what's
was
that?
that she didn't meet any brown people until she left high school.
No, I grew up in Phoenix. I just went to high school in Higley. My parents were doing well then. I was fortunate enough
to move on up to the east side.
That's funny.
And I am your host, Troy Cuthbert, and I am 35. My birthday's in a few weeks. I'm almost 40. That sounds so weird.
To say?
Yeah,
Out
like
loud.
4 away from 40. That I don't feel like it, but it's just anyway. I'm a barber. I'm a podcaster. I'm a dad. I'm an all-around player, and I'm from here. And what were the other ones? Relationship status, player. I already said it. No, I'm just kidding. I got a girl. She likes girls. We like girls together. That's how we get down. And let's move on. So, ladies, I want to have some fun. I want to know what you want to know about men. I want to know anything that's confused you about dating men, anything that's confused you about behavior men have given you when dating them in relationships, just the talking stages. The whole point of this podcast is so we can see and understand each other's points of views, so dating isn't so fucking trash, and we can have longer lasting, healthier relationships. And unfortunately, I came to this epiphany earlier today that most people don't tell women the truth from the time you guys are girls. Like, it's been your entire lives that you've been lied to, not just by your parents, not just by your father, not just by men, but by each other and yourselves.
Correct.
You know? So that's why, I mean, I figured one of you guys would ask me, why do men lie? But it's I think it's ingrained in human interaction between each other, just with women. Women are emotional creatures. We understand that. You guys know that. Males know that. Parents know that. And because of that, the truth hasn't ever really been conveyed to you guys bluntly all the time, because we are aware of the feelings and emotions that come from hearing unpopular truths, right? So your parents, you're a princess, you're the most beautiful girl in the world, all of these things, you hear that growing up. Even when left to your own devices as children, I've noticed that women, girls, and boys just handle things differently. If little girls are left to their own devices to play, it's games like hopscotch, jump rope, house. There's no real winner in a game. There's no real designated position. It's just play and social interaction for children. Now, when there's a disagreement, the game typically just stops, because women don't like to tell each other the truth, just like men don't like telling women the truth, and the game just stops. With boys, it's a bit different. Like, if you leave boys to their own devices, they play soccer, basketball, baseball, tag, whatever the case may be, and there is designated positions. There's typically a captain of a team, and if they can't figure out a disagreement, if they're playing basketball, they shoot for it, or they'll just simply bust out rock, paper, scissors, and then move on, and the game keeps going. So that has just carried on throughout life for women. So even with each other, you guys do it when it comes to telling your friends the blunt truth, the honest truth. Like, girl, you look like shit in that outfit. You know what I mean? Like, you guys don't do that. And it's fine. Everyone understands it. You guys understand it because you guys do it. You're not going to tell another woman, especially somebody that you're cool with, that she's ugly or fat or whatever. You know what I mean? You may tell her you could work on these things, but 9 out of 10 women aren't that blunt, honest with each other, which is why men also don't tell you their direct intentions, because although it leaves you with a choice and everyone should be honest, the game stops when the truth comes out. You see what I'm saying? So even though no one asked me that yet, that is the answer to one question as to why do men lie to women. If you want me to elaborate further, I can. But we're going to go around, and I started with you on that, so we'll start with you. What do you want to know about guys and why we do the shit that we do?
Okay, I wrote down a couple questions, but I guess one of them would be, does a guy really want a girl who's there when he's at his lowest? Like, if she comes in when he's at his lowest, does he want to stay with the girl who's like the ride or die? Or when he's up, he'd rather go with somebody that, I don't know, that would rather be with him when he's, I don't know, higher value, or however he may see it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. A man shouldn't be dating when he's at his lowest, because that is how we gain confidence, and that is how we, that's how we earn you, is by accomplishing something to have you. So if he is going to become ultra successful and you fell for him when he was a bum, he's going to appreciate you, and how do I put it? He's going to appreciate you, and he'll probably always have a spot for you, a safe spot for you, but it's human nature. As you gain more, you access more. You know, the more money you make, the more things you buy. The more you work out, the more you start lifting. You know, it is what it is. So as he grows, his appetite and ability to attract more women is going to come with that. But you have a rock solid spot with him because you were there when he didn't have anything. So a woman's loyalty is tested when a man has nothing. A man's loyalty is tested when he has everything. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that quote.
So, yes. But does he want you? He shouldn't. I wouldn't put a woman through that. I don't think women should do that for men either. I don't care if you see that he has potential. If he hasn't reached his potential, then he can't reach you.
Yeah, and I think that's something like you were saying earlier with the whole like being taught different things, or society teaching us different things. I remember there was like quotes on MySpace like, "Oh, I'm a ride or die," I'm this or that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so society probably does that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Here's the thing: you ride if he had it and lost it, you don't go nowhere. That's why marriage vows are so important, because it is for richer or poorer, for better or worse. So if it gets worse, you need to be there. You know what I mean? But again, he's already shown you that he can do it. So you know that he can get it back. But if he hasn't shown you that he can do it, you're just waiting and hoping based on potential. And at some point you have to cut that string.
Yeah.
So a man shouldn't be courting you and trying to be with you if he can't take care of you, because it is in our nature to do so.
Yeah, I think that's a good answer.
Yeah, it's the real answer. Dennis, pay attention. What do you got?
My question is, I want to know if men are more willing to date women with multiple children than women are willing to date men that have more than one child.
Sorry, say that again?
So this week, I've heard 2 stories of like young men dating women with more than 4 or 5 kids. And like, that's news to me, because I feel like a woman, I don't know if she would go for that. Like, I put myself in that position, and if I met a man that had 5 or 6 children, would I date him? Honestly, me personally, no.
Depends on the man.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm saying now, right? I guess so.
So to answer that question, especially the way you put it with the younger dude dating somebody with children, that is a man who hasn't accomplished what he wants to accomplish, and those are the women that he can attract. She no longer can attract the type of man that she wants because she has 5 children by some other man, possibly multiple other men, and you're asking a whole lot for a man with options to pick that woman over women without children, younger women, people without the baggage, you know? So I've tried not to hurt feelings, but this is the fucking truth of the matter is a man, the kind of man that women want, the one that you describe on paper or the one that you describe in your head, that man is wanted by other women. Point blank, period. Women don't want a man that other women don't want. That being said, since he has options, he'll fuck that woman and put her in a sex only zone category if she has multiple children, multiple baby daddies or whatever, if she's fine enough. But is he going to wife her up? That's not on his agenda. He doesn't have to, so why should he? Because if you were in his position, would you? Right? Now, and I'm talking about as a man picking a woman. Now, that doesn't mean that it can't happen. It doesn't mean that it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen, yeah.
But on the flip side, you said you wouldn't date a man with 5 children. The difference between a man with a bunch of kids and a woman with a bunch of kids, there's an out for a woman. The 2 outs for women is one out really is widowed. You know what I mean? If she's widowed, nobody penalizes a widowed woman. It wasn't her choice that her man is no longer here. Or
least
even
in that case.
even if she was married for a long time and he left, that could be an out as well. You know what I mean? If she was been with one man and those are all his children, and then 15 years later he decides to run off with a secretary. It happens rarely, but it does happen. And she's not going to get penalized for that either because she's shown loyalty. But a man who has a lot of children, even if it's with a lot of women, that man is doing something right because women are more selective on who they sleep with. So women are selective on who they sleep with. Men are selective on who they commit to. So you're not going to sleep with a man unless he checks enough boxes. Well, the man that you want isn't going to commit to a woman unless she checks enough boxes. And one of those boxes is being pure and not having to raise another man's children. Right? And it's even harder if the dad is heavily involved because most men don't want to interact with the father. It takes a very mature man to do, or it takes it just is tough because if the father is heavily involved in that child's life, those two men are going to have conversations on how to discipline that kid, right? And even then, as the man, he has to earn the right from you to discipline that child. Damn the father, even if he is involved, he still has to earn the right from you. So now he's got some other kid in his house that he cannot control, and it's up to you. That's a tough one to ask. That's a tough ask. So no, men are not looking to date women with children. It happens, but they're not looking to. What you got?
Well, I don't know. You guys have deep ones. One is in the front or in the back? In the front or in the back?
What do you mean? Which position do we prefer?
Yeah. Maybe it's just that personal, I'm sure. But like now I'm asking you. Let's get to know you.
It depends. It depends on the woman and it depends on her body.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, great. That's a great answer.
It depends on her. It depends on the woman, her body, her face, legs, all of that.
I like you.
You know what I mean? She's got a fat ass. Of course, I got to hit from the back. But we got to do that last because we're gonna bust quick.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Great.
If she's got big ass titties, we want to be on top because we want to play with those fucking things. If
The
she's
right
really,
answer is both.
I mean, it depends. That's what I said. It, like,
Sometimes you're like, nah.
I don't think.
Like, nah, I'm not doing that. Like,
It also depends on the mood. If I'm really tired, from the back, let's get this over with. Clap cheeks. I'm out. I'm gonna have to sleep. You know what I'm saying?
great.
All right.
I like that. Okay. Sorry, I have a question. No, a comment. Sorry.
Go for it. But speak closer to the mic or bring the mic to you.
At the beginning, you were talking about the male and the child, the girl and the boy, how they grow. But like, to challenge that, I'm saying like, but what if you grew up with brothers and you actually played a lot of like the games that, boys played, and the same the other way around. Like if you're like a guy and grew up with a lot of sisters, like the interactions are then going to be different as well.
Fair. But men are still less emotional than women. So a man growing up with all those sisters is still going to have a very logical outlook on things. A woman, even if she is more logical than most women, she's still going to feel and be sympathetic and empathetic towards things more than a man will.
Okay, so there's levels.
Well, there's always going to be levels.
Right.
And there's always going to be exceptions. Everything I say is generally speaking.
Correct.
And the reason for that is very simple. Exceptions to rules are useless to argue because everybody's individual experience is going to be different. And it doesn't reflect the general populace of the world. On top of that, just because something can happen doesn't mean that it's likely to happen.
Right.
So it's almost a waste of time talking about it. So it's just like what your parents do. Your parents always grow up and try and direct you in the right direction so you don't make the same mistakes that they do. And we, as these invincible ass dumbass kids, think like I'm not you, that's not gonna happen to me, and then sure the fuck enough it happens to you because that's the likelihood of what's gonna happen. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and also like I also think a lot of it too has to do with culture, because I know at one point you were saying like, guys are very direct to the point, and to be honest, I grew up like in a German background, and I have had a lot of like trouble especially when I first came to America, because it was so blunt and to the point that I had to tone it down to
You were blunt.
Me.
Okay, yeah.
Because of my culture. So it's like, sometimes when you're saying like, oh, direct, and in my head I'm like, that's like common sense to me because that meant love. For me, saying the truth meant love. So the way I grew up and how I direct myself, you know, even though there's like I say the little girl and the little boy, I also think like culture can like play a big role in that.
100%. I
Yeah.
don't disagree with that at all. I don't disagree with that at all. I mean, the rest of the world, for the most part, is more traditional. A lot of women don't have this boss babe mentality that America's dealing with, and Europe or Western Europe, is dealing with. Like even Hispanic families today, like the women will get cursed the fuck out if her man's making her own damn plate.
That's
You
true.
know what I'm saying? like,
Like, how are you gonna don't let him make it? Yeah.
Don't let his mom see him make his own plate.
right.
Oh my god.
But so I can only imagine what it's like in those other countries where you know, like they're still traditional. The man still goes out and works. The woman takes care of home. To me personally, just the way nature is built, I don't know why we're questioning nature. I don't know how we got so fucking far. I don't know who sold women this idea to go compete with men because we don't like what we have to do either. So I don't know why women want to do it so damn bad. Oh, and I mean, you guys played the game fucking great. You know what I mean? Before this age of technology and this industrial revolution, women had zero desire to go do what men did. Oh, you're going to go hunt. You're going to go build. Have fun. You're really good at that. I'm going to stay here and take care of these kids. But as soon as air conditioning got involved in this shit, you're like, I want to work. Like, you know, yeah, now great fucking timing. What do you got?
So you know how you're always saying that women give up the leverage when they have sex? Women give up the leverage when they have sex? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what are some things that women can do to maintain like a man's attention after they've given up the leverage?
That's really easy. Continue to be nice to him and then continue to want to give him sex and see him. Because you women, you guys truly do not understand how little attention men get. You do not understand how little attention men get. We don't get hard eye, quick responses on our story pictures. We don't get comments of fire and hard eyes in our selfies. We don't get approached at the gym. We don't get approached at gas stations. We don't get approached anywhere. We rarely get called handsome. We rarely get called anything. And when we do, it makes our fucking week. Not just the day. It makes our week, period. You know what I mean? So once you do give up sex and your leverage is gone, it's on you just to simply continue to be nice and show this man that I like you and I want to continue seeing you. But most women still want you to chase them. And it's like, I already hit, so...
Oh, I see.
Hey, you guys look great. Just want to give you guys a compliment today. So you guys look good.
But, yeah, it's literally so little effort. It's literally so little effort on your part to text him. Why give him a fucking good morning text? You know what I'm saying? Send him some coffee. Buy him lunch. You don't have to spend any money, but just do something sweet to show him and how about this? Tell him I want to see you again. Hey, I had fun the other night. We should do this again. When can we do this again? You know, those kind of things. If he's
so women should be more forward?
Afterwards, yeah, because
Yeah.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. As a man, we have to
Aggressively
be funny.
or?
Not aggressively, just kindly.
Oh, kindly.
Be kind.
Maybe I just meant passionately. I'm sorry.
Yes, you can be
All
passionate,
right,
especially the next time you see him. Show him that
bring
you
it.
turn him on. We want to feel desired. You know you're desired. We're always asking for pics. We're always complimenting you. Most of our conversation toward you is sexual. We want to feel sexual too. You know what I'm saying? And that makes us feel appreciated. That makes us feel like we've accomplished
You want to
something.
be objectified.
Damn right we want to be objectified. We want to be catcalled. But because we don't get it. So it's
Okay.
easy for you to shrug off a compliment because you hear them all the time. We don't. So if you've already given up the sex and you actually do like that man, let him fucking know, hey, I had fun. I want to see you again. When can we do that again? And if he's not reciprocating, then maybe his intention really was just to hit and not talk to you again.
Follow-up question. What if he's like, and you know how you always say, like, the men are like, if they're 6'2", handsome, fit, all that stuff what if they're in that caliber? They have more options already. That's what I'm more concerned about. Someone who already has more options. Like you would say,
he got already enough compliments, like
yeah, like, cause,
okay.
like if he does have the girls all up under him on social media, like, oh damn, nuts. You're fine, and da 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 da, and stuff like that.
Then
Wait till
you've got two options. You either accept that you're in a sex only zone, or you wait these other bitches out. Like that's literally what it is. Because,
like she had asked about if he should want her when he's at his low point. Well, he's at his high point. So you showing him that I don't care about these other women. I still really like you and I want to treat you right. While he's playing with these other women, you're going to slowly get to a point where it's like, you know what? Why am I wasting my time with the rest of these hoes? This one is always down. This one is always a rider. This one always cooks for me. This one, you know what I mean? Like,
so
the rest of these bitches, I'm wasting too much time, money, and energy when I've got one that is cool with everything. And if I were to smash somebody else, she's not going to care. You know what I mean? Like, that's who that kind of man wants. So
Noted.
So hold on. So you're saying to continue giving him compliments then? To be like, ooh, you're 6'2", you be looking fine today. Like what, you know? Like, are you saying to continue then, even if he's a good-looking guy he already gets it? You're saying to do that?
Absolutely, because even the ones that are good-looking still get turned down. I mean, proof in the fucking pudding. Future flies the girl out, she doesn't put out, and then what's the line? I'm good, love. You know what I mean? Do you guys remember that? No. So Future, famous rapper, flies a girl out. She gets there, she doesn't want to have sex. He tells her to leave, doesn't buy her plane ticket back, and she's like, well, we should still hang out. And he's like, I'm good, love. You know what I mean? A man like Future flew the bitch out, still got turned down. You know what I mean? Like, so if he's going to get turned down, even that 6'2", handsome, attractive man is still getting shot down on the daily.
ChatGPT, give me 5 compliments today.
That's a good one.
Do you guys feel like when you're in a relationship or you like somebody, you compliment them a lot?
Oh, I tell my boyfriend that every morning I tell him he's handsome, he's wonderful, and that he's the best thing on the planet to any bitch that sees him.
Oh,
every single day.
that's cute. Wow, he's a lucky guy.
Sensational.
I love that one.
Right. Any other questions? You guys have to want to know more about men. What do you want to know? What is racking your brain?
Wow, mine are really just like
like
makeup or no makeup. What
That's
would
a
you
great
prefer?
question.
What do men prefer?
Yeah, makeup or no makeup.
We prefer the least amount possible. That is what we prefer. I personally don't care for makeup at all. Put on whatever you need to, as long as I don't notice it. I don't want any of your shit on my clothes. I don't want any of your shit on my pillowcases. And
that's funny.
The reason for it is, at least me, is because the most I can do is line my beard up. I'm not putting eyeliner on. I'm not putting blush on. I'm not doing anything to try and spruce this shit up. This is what you get if you don't like it. Oh, fucking well. And I think that it just is more confident for a woman to just rock what she looks like, because that's how I'm going to see you majority of the time.
Yeah, 100%.
That's how I'm going to see you majority of the time. So I want to be attracted to you without it. Now, if you're really good at applying it, that's fine as well, as long as it doesn't look like you have a ton of it on. I don't think men care for the crazy color eyeshadows, the fucking lines coming off your creases of your eyes. We damn sure do not like eyelashes. Cut that shit out. I don't know who told y'all that shit was cute. There's not a man on the planet that says, man, she'd be so much prettier if her eyelashes were 1.5 inches longer.
I saw a video where a guy was like, he's like, have you ever had head from a girl who has some eyelashes on, they be flickering like this?
She put them to use. It's not put them to use.
And stop putting them eyelashes on your car, too. You're just driving around in your car looking like a little hoe.
stupid.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna come around and fuck that car. But
There's probably somebody else.
that
So
car,
let me feel what's called out right now.
that car looking sexy, little bitch. What else? You got one? You're done.
No, I don't.
You?
Oh, well, actually, I feel like men catalog women when they first meet them, but how does that work?
What do you mean catalog?
I feel like,
Categorize?
yeah, like you meet someone and then after, I don't know, X amount of time or weeks or whatever, you're like, oh, this one's only for this or for
Women
that.
do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Women do the exact same thing.
I guess
Women,
I don't.
women have.
I
women-
guess I just got out of a serious relationship, so I can't really say that.
But still, even now, you've got guys that you like talking to because they're fun and funny. You've got guys that you could go and have a good time with without having any desire to have sex with. You've got guys that you only want to fuck. You've got guys that you actually could see
I
yourself
just
with.
have one. Just want to say that.
Whatever. Or a guy, whatever. You know what I mean?
Put
But
that out there.
yeah, women categorize men as well. I mean, yes, we do the same thing, and it depends on behavior. It depends on mindset. It depends on so many different things. A lot of it depends on level of attraction to you. And because at the end of the day, whether you're a 4 or a 9, we're gonna fuck. But this 4 is gonna hear the same shit this 9 is hearing. And that's where this delusion of women gets misconstrued. And this 4 thinks that she can have me when it's like, no, you can fuck me. And I hope nobody finds out about it. You know what I mean? But I'm going to tell you the same shit. I'm going to compliment you. I'm going to say you're so pretty, this, and that. And I don't believe none of this shit. But I have to do what it takes. You know what I mean? I mean, I might believe some of it, like, because certain body parts can make you a certain number. You know what I'm saying? And you've seen it. You've seen men out in public with an ugly bitch, but that ass is fat.
Yes, I have.
Or them titties are huge. And you get it. You know what I mean? I get it. I see it all the fucking time. Like, probably wouldn't hold this bitch's hand, but I get it.
I've seen
less.
6s go up to like a 7 or an 8 because they got a fat ass.
Absolutely. Or vice versa. You got a girl like Mila Kunis who has zero body, but she's beautiful. You know what I mean? So she's higher up. Like, it's all subjective, but we categorize women for sure. There's sex only women. There's
I mean, we do the
get
same.
fucked up and have fun.
We
Exactly.
do
I guess
like
I don't
the
know because
same,
I'm
you know?
been locked away for a long time.
I think you've been single long enough to start to understand how shit's
haven't.
working. Have you changed the camera view once, Lisa?
I have not.
Cute.
I'm just asking. I haven't been looking at the TV. Is there any comments? You guys like, subscribe, follow, get in the comments. Do you have anything you want to ask us? Is anybody watching right now?
It's just
We'll see it later. Oh, there
there
you
are
go. There is
comments.
some. Man, want attention just a minute. You ladies,
Yeah,
in the
that's
comments,
a good one.
please ask us a question. What do you guys want to know?
This
This
once
is
in a while.
don't do that. We don't like that shit.
At all.
We don't like that shit.
Can we touch it?
You can touch it,
Can we like
but
rub it?
just
We can't squeeze.
yeah. Why? Okay, hold on. Yeah,
during
why
a
not?
hug. Sure.
Should,
During a
what
hug.
if
We don't want no
fingertips-
surprise smacks.
I
What
love
if the
that.
fingertips?
No, don't go nowhere near the crack. Don't.
Yeah,
no,
that's what I want to know.
No,
How close to the
no,
crack can we get?
no,
Not anywhere near
Close
it.
to
Can
the
we get in
crack.
the comments? Anybody like it at
Close
all?
to the crack.
no. Does anybody like it at all? What about you? You got another one?
Okay.
I was gonna say, how do men feel about
Closer to the mic.
how do men feel about
You got a great voice.
Oh,
Get up on
Use
that mic.
it.
She's like, how do men feel? How do men?
because I can hear myself, so I like
Bring it
fixed
down.
it. How do men feel about women who have a lot of followers on IG? Is that a red flag? Do they care?
Yeah, it's a bit of a red flag because that's very important to you. And it's only a red flag if you won't delete your Instagram if I were to ask you to, if we were in a serious relationship. Like, if it means that much to you, then the attention that you're getting from other people.
I think
and
I would definitely delete.
unless you're making money from it that I can physically see,
Yeah.
then that's or unless he obviously has tons of followers himself. But we can never compete with the amount of attention that you're going to get. I don't care who you have. There's always somebody bigger and badder out there that can have your attention. So when you have that much attention, yes, it definitely is a red flag. Because simply put, this is what men and women want from each other. Women want a thug Jesus, and we want a stripper Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we don't want you to be, we don't want everybody to know you. We want everybody to see you. Matter of fact, the most attractive social media presence a woman can have is when we find a baddie with like 400 followers. Like, don't nobody know this bitch? No one knows her? Oh, I won. You know what I mean? Like that one goes way above and beyond. So yes, I do think it is a red flag. Anybody else before we move on to these topics? You got some? Go ahead.
No,
Don't be shy.
it's the same question. But a follow up to her question is, what number is too many?
Anything with a K. Shit, anything over 7,000.
Jeez, I don't think I've ever gotten more than anywhere near that. Okay.
Yeah, no, because 1,000, a couple thousand, that's fine. But I mean, you got to think most of those girls with 7,000 or more, every picture has hundreds of likes. Half of them are from women, but a lot of them are from men. And then the DMs are crazy. You know what I mean? But also, we don't really fucking care. Social media is so fucking weird nowadays, and women are so strange on it. Like, everything. Like, the girls who only post 4 pictures, like, has to stay 4 pictures. Like, can never post more than 4 pictures. I just think it's fucking weird. Especially when you're on it all day.
Oh, you mean the girls who go and like erase a picture after 6 weeks?
Yeah.
That's so annoying.
Yeah.
Damn.
But whatever.
That's what I think.
I know
I
girls.
get bored of it.
Oh, really?
I know girls who time their posts. Like they can't. It's okay. It's 5 o'clock, which means people are probably working right now, so they're not gonna like my picture. So I'll wait 10 minutes, and then like I've literally had to have a conversation with somebody about how dumb that was.
Wow.
Algorithms, I guess.
Instagram.
All right, I'm sorry if I said some shit. I'm not trying to step on anyone's toes. I don't think it's stupid, okay?
You're good.
It's to each their own.
I really, apologize if I offended anyone.
That's a good one.
Do men after 30 prefer to date older or younger? Younger. Men always prefer younger women. They've done studies on this. The most attractive women to men from the ages of 18 to 65, they polled men which age bracket they find women most attractive in, and that is from the age of 18 to 24. So,
bodies,
but
more
you
youthfulness.
guys, it's a biological reason to this. It's not. And again,
me
I
the
think
science.
feminism has ruined this for you. You guys went and chased school, education, careers, and all these other things when it's like biologically, by nature, you're most primed to have children from, I mean, it sounds bad, but just biologically speaking, from 16 to like 26. That is the prime age to have children. That is when you can have the most. That is when your body will bounce back the fastest. And that is when you have the energy to stay up at 2, 3, 4 in the fucking morning. But if you want to have kids at 32, not only is it a damn near a geriatric pregnancy, because at 35 it becomes geriatric. At 30, 90% of your eggs are gone. It's harder to do those things because now you have fucking responsibilities, a job to get to, and then you have to go back to work 6 weeks later. Like, it's not built for that. But unfortunately, that's just
States.
Huh?
Sorry, you said it's like 6 weeks. I was like in the United States.
Yeah, in the United States. What's the it's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. But
It's like you can't even bond with your baby in that amount of
you
time.
can't.
You
you
can't
shouldn't.
do, and your
I mean,
body's
of
not
course you
even
do,
like
but
ready
I'm just-
to go back.
No,
Your
it's not. You have
hormones,
to
like,
every break.
none
You
of
have to go
that.
pump. I mean, exactly.
And then they have a problem with that.
I got 3 months. I don't know where y'all got to 6 weeks from.
But at 6 weeks is like the minimum that they have to give you. Some places give you more.
Yeah, some are like 3 months, yeah.
But-
and then it's paid.
Yeah.
But still, I feel like
Even 3 months is too much. You should be in that
Yeah.
baby's life for the entire first year.
yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's what I feel too.
but again, the thing is that's what men are attracted to. However, women are also attracted to older men. So I don't know why this bothers women. The reason it bothers, no, I know why it bothers women is because you didn't give a fuck about men when you were in your prime years, having fun, being able to do whatever you wanted, get into anybody's section, cut the line at the club, be the cutest bitch out, and work trying to date anybody serious. And then when you got tired of being played by all these fucking bottle guys and all this other shit, these bad boys that you were attracted to, now you want to settle down at the age of 30 plus, and it's like, well, the men who are 30 plus who were trying to date you then, they don't want you now because now they have shit. You didn't want them because they didn't have shit. Now they have shit. You're ready to settle down. It's like, well, I'm gonna go get me a young bitch. Why am I gonna put up with you? You didn't want me when I was young. I don't want you when you're old. It's that simple. There's more comments.
There's that.
23.
So there's that one. Anybody else before I go on? Come on.
Yeah.
What do you want to know about men? Let's get it out there. Let's air this shit out.
Boxers or briefs?
I don't wear underwear.
Nice.
Wow. Even with jeans?
I don't wear jeans.
Oh, okay, that's fair. I was like, wow, that seems like a little rough there.
I don't wear jeans.
You know?
I think I have one pair of jeans and they're joggers and they're like drawstring. Like the only belts I have are golf belts, and that's the only time I wear underwear.
And we got full circle there. Got it. Understood.
But it's a boxer brief for me.
He's difficult. He's in the middle.
Yeah.
This was a tougher
who the
question
fuck
than
wears
we
boxers
thought.
anymore?
It was. It really was.
Who wears boxers anymore? When's the last time you seen a man with boxers?
Can we do a poll?
If do a poll, I'd like to fucking know. If I saw a man with boxers, I'd assume that he steals.
I can't wait to see what the results are. I can't wait.
Steals. He probably has dirty Air Forces and his you can see his boxers. You know what I mean? That's just my image of boxers at the moment. I don't know.
Wild.
Before we move on, will you grab me one of those up the refrigerator, please? Caesar, thank you. And I got these sliding things on the chair so they don't make as much noise anymore.
Nice.
Awesome. Don't your headphones. Don't. Oh, she got wireless ones at work. Yeah. She can roam around the house. It doesn't matter.
Can I get one? Oh wait, she can't hear me because she doesn't have.
Two. Grab two.
What is she getting? Ooh. I'll take one. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll just sip.
All right, now we gotta learn hear from y'all. So, if you were a man, and we're gonna start with you, or did we start her with her?
We start in the middle, whatever you want.
If you were a man, where would you take a woman on a first date? Wait, before we do this, have you guys seen that list that's been going around today about the places that women refuse to go on a first date?
I
Did you guys see that crazy ass list?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I did. It was like the first one. Some of them.
First one was Cheesecake Factory, no coffee dates.
I love cheesecake.
I was gonna say, their plates are big too, and you get cheesecake at the end.
If you don't want to go to Cheesecake Factory, you have something seriously wrong with you. For the simple fact that there's 192 things on that fucking menu. If you can't find something you want to eat at Cheesecake Factory, you don't need to ever go on a date.
Maybe but hold on.
I've never had Cheesecake Factory.
No?
I have an argument.
It has everything.
Because of this list.
Everything?
No, I'm just kidding.
But in my head,
Cheesecake Factory has everything. It's not like it's. I mean, go ahead. What you got to say?
you know, this is really. But you know, you blame it on us not making a choice, but also can the restaurant just like not have that many options?
Oh,
keep
too
it
many options.
simple?
No, you're right.
Also, it's like, wow, this is gonna take me at least 15, 20 minutes to read, and then it's categories. I'm like, this is too much. Just give me something simple.
Okay.
Sorry, I feel very passionate about these menus.
You're right. I mean, I just found out that per store, In-N-Out is more profitable than McDonald's in California in particular, simply because their menu has like 6 things on it. So it's boom, easy. Burger, cheeseburger, double
love
burger.
that you have these facts for
statistically,
me. Statistics.
No, statistically, it's the human brain can only handle up to 6 options. So like that makes total sense.
Yeah. So just read the first 6 things on each page.
But one of the best thing is like 8 or 9.
then you.
Okay, I like it. We can go really deep on this, you guys.
All right, but it's okay. Yeah, that list was fucking crazy. And honestly, if
What
women
else
think
was the
that
list?
you want to see the list, I'll find
I
it.
want to see the list.
They do have a list.
But shit.
I wanted to date. The guy took me on a walk.
That's nice.
I actually really
It was really
Sounds
nice
great.
because he actually knew about the buildings, like in downtown Phoenix. So like he could
Ooh,
Just on a tour.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, I've lived here my whole life and I don't know this. So
He brought groceries to my house. Like I've known him for a long time, but he brought groceries to my house and he cooked me dinner. That was our first time.
That's
cute.
super
That's
cute.
really nice.
Yeah, I like that.
And they fed it to me too. So
I love that. I had a
love
guy who
that.
took me on a picnic and then said, "Hey, there's 2 outfits. Which one do you want? A cat or the hunter? Pick." And then we were the cat and the hunter, and we were everywhere. And he's like, "Look at this kitty roar!" And I was like, "Roar!" And I was like, "This is actually a lot of fun. Like, this is ridiculous. This is the most ridiculous date I've been. But also,
were
why
furries?
not?
yeah,
You know, like, wow, this is different. Okay, why not?
okay.
Yeah."
Okay, you guys ready for the list?
Yes.
Cheesecake Factory, Applebee's, Chili's, Chipotle, Olive Garden, the movies, your house, any fast food chain, Buffalo Wild Wings, Wingstop, Red Lobster, a buffet, IHOP, Denny's, the gym, church, Starbucks, coffee dates, ice cream dates, family functions, movie night, Netflix, Hulu, etc. Somewhere that requires a long drive, bowling, nightclubs, hookah bar, a bar for just drinks, Waffle House, sporting events.
Oh, that's
So nothing that has.
I just got hungry.
So basically
Listening
nothing
to
that
the
has.
Yeah, right?
I'm like, damn, I want to go eat now.
Yeah. So,
I got some snacks.
but you can go to Benihana's. They don't make no sense. That wasn't on there. So hibachi is on the table, but
There we go.
Wait,
You found one that wasn't on the list.
Express was not on the list.
but huh?
Oh no, they said fast food chain.
Yeah,
I
they
guess
said-
that would be.
Yeah. So basically, they don't want to go nowhere.
Stay you as home.
They're basically saying spend a lot
Build
of money.
me a whole brand new restaurant from scratch. And then
Now
you'll
here's the
impress
thing.
me.
That's okay. I won't take you to any of those places. But what does he get out of it in return? If a man takes you on an expensive date, what does he get out of it in return?
Poon.
If he does, then it was worth every fucking penny. But if you think your presence is just enough for me to go drop $200, $300, $400, $600 on you, you're fucking high.
Delusional.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah,
But that's how women today think.
that's fine.
Most women today. Like, that's why that list is so fucking long.
That's crazy.
I just like sex, so. You down?
All right. Now, we'll start with you. If you were a man, where would you take a woman on a first date?
That depends on how I met the woman, but if I'm just gonna be generic, it still depends on how I met the woman. Like I'm someone who would like a paint and sip, something we can talk while we're doing some activity together and just getting to know each other. That's what I would do, but it really depends on the woman.
Okay, I like that. What about you, Miss Germany?
Okay, Germany today. Guten Tag. Basically, in my head, it's like for me, it's if he paid attention. If we went to something
you're the
like this.
man.
Okay, if I'm the man, well, I would want to pay attention to the woman in our interaction or whatever it is, right? And if she says, you know, she loves running or hiking or something like that, be like, hey, do you want to go hiking? Because then I would be like, wow, that's actually what I like. And I mentioned that during like my conversation. I think those have been the best dates for me because it's like you're already really
Attentive.
attentive.
Paying
exactly.
attention.
Yeah.
You'd want to go for a hike on a first
Oh,
date?
I'm a hiker. That's like a running. I love trail running and things like that.
What if
Yoga.
he can't keep up?
That has happened.
Or what if he leaves you in the dust?
That has happened, but in my head it's like you tried. Like that's
Yeah.
cute. Like thank you. You know?
Yeah.
Like
Did he get a second date?
yeah, because exactly that's what I'm saying. That's yeah.
Okay. What about you, V?
I never thought about this question, so.
You're thinking about it now. Boom,
I know. I
on the
don't have.
spot.
I need more time.
Or, here's another idea that's going to be very controversial. You could shut the f*** up.
I could.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I could. That was actually. I was gonna say, can you just skip me?
No, we participate.
Answer the question. questions. I was just as confused as you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'd say amusement park, but that's because I like amusement parks. So I think that's a lot of fun.
That's where you would take a woman? If you were a man?
I would like to. That's what I would want.
Yeah, there we
A
go.
lot of money.
That's what I would want. That'd be cool. I want something like to
I
break
mean,
the
I don't think that
I
that's
want
a bad
something to
idea.
break the ice.
There's
Like,
a
let's just
lot of
break
shit
the
to do
ice
at
from
an
the
amusement
get-go.
park.
That's
So
what
like
I
the
feel.
state fair, would that work?
Not the fucking state fair. That's fucking bullshit.
Fair sounds
So state fair is not a good
I'd
one.
rather go
guys.
to
Not
castles and
that one.
coasters.
Be selective.
Or
mean,
like I'd like to go to like
You don't
play
like
video
funnel
games.
cakes?
Like what are they called? Where they have
You don't
like
like big ass turkey
arcades.
legs?
Which one?
An arcade?
Yeah, I'd like to go to an
Ah,
arcade.
those
Like,
are
I
fun.
like
Like Cobra Bar?
I was just gonna say that.
They're
Have you ever
fun.
been to Cobra?
Yeah, I have.
It's fun.
Yeah, something like that.
I agree.
I like
Fun.
pinball.
Besides Cobra, does anybody know where a fucking arcade's at?
Yeah,
Let's
there's
ask
also one out here
Google.
by somewhere over here too.
Oh shit, I didn't know. I don't go
Right down the
outside.
street, actually.
It's called Player One. Surprise.
Sweet.
That's in
Love
Mesa,
it.
right?
Well, there's one in Surprise.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if there is one in Mesa, but yeah.
Ready?
What about you?
I would want to do something fun as well, like bowling or like an arcade, like somewhere to I don't know, see if they have a good personality, if they can kind of roll with whatever and have fun. See if they have I don't know, just a good personality.
What if she has nails? Are you gonna take her bowling?
I mean,
She could do like this.
Yeah, true.
The granny
But do you
style?
think she's gonna want to? A chick who has nails and wears
kinda-
heels, do you think she's gonna want
I
to go
would.
bowling?
I've had nails and have not had nails, and I would still go bowling.
Yeah, I'd still go.
I'm like,
So again, you're
I'm
like,
no, I'm curious. I'm legit curious because I
It hurts sometimes though. I've jammed my finger a few times and like hurry.
I mean I'm
you get
more,
one with
I'd
bigger
more or less.
holes. They like the fatter
Speaking of
finger
big
ones.
Those are heavier balls.
Those are
I'm just curious because I didn't know if women actually enjoyed bowling.
I
know
I
that-
like.
I love that.
I mean,
It's so fun.
I'm good
Rob
at it
jumping
and
on
I'm
his case.
bad. It's
I
so
love
random. So I don't know what I'm gonna get if I'm gonna be good or bad at it.
yeah.
I actually like losing the first time because there it's always like it's okay next time. The next time
I was just legit want to do
he's
something
coming back with
Trying
revenge.
to
That is
hustle him in
cool.
the bowling.
in the pool table. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know what
funny.
I'm doing.
Right. Can you come show me?
Yeah, stand right behind me.
See, that's good game. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
ask for help.
That's true.
Because men need to be needed. We need to.
Have you guys ever done that?
Women
You
get
didn't
so
need help?
offended when women get so offended when we use the word submission and
I do
how
wanna
you
talk
should
about
submit
that,
to a
actually.
man and all these
talk
other
about
things.
submission.
But men live to serve. You know what I mean? That's what they do. They may make orders and everything, but men also understand hierarchy. If you play on a sports team, you listen to your coach, whether your coach can play as good as you can or not. You know what I mean? Army generals are marching 20,000 men into battle, and men are submitting to him and following orders. And we go out and work our asses off to give it to you and the children. So what is it? Why is it such a big deal to submit to me and the things that I need from you? That's all I'm saying. You said bowling. Okay. Shit. Should I answer this reverse? Like, where would I want to go if I was a girl?
Yeah.
What do you come up with?
Like how we all got excited.
Yeah, do that.
Where would I want to be taken on a date if I was a girl? What kind of girl am I? Am I a
We
bad
didn't get to
bitch?
ask those questions.
You know what I'm saying? Am
You're you as a female.
Yeah, you're.
I- so I'm a bad bitch. Okay.
You're a bad bitch.
Okay.
You're bad.
All right, so I'm a bad bitch.
I'm a badass bitch.
Make some music.
I'd like to go do something where I could learn.
Like an art gallery or something.
More so as a woman, if I were a woman, I'd want this man to show me something that he's good at that I could learn.
Yes.
Cool. I do like
That's
that. That
facts.
is a good one.
That's very
This
Yeah.
may be extreme, but like, what if a girl wanted to go to like a gun range on the first date?
Great.
I've had somebody take me shooting on a first date.
I'd
Love that.
I'd love to
Yeah.
take a girl to go do that.
It was fun.
Yeah, I would like to for, you know, shit. Even if it's something that we can both participate in, but I don't have to be good at. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, I personally would like to take a girl to karaoke
Oh no.
because I'm good at that. So, but
She's like
you don't-
terrible.
Huh?
Oh, she's like terrible.
She doesn't have to participate, but she's gonna have fun
Yeah.
because it's fun to watch people butcher songs. It's fucking
Is
hilarious.
it? Sometimes it's
Yes.
so cringe.
What if
I'm
she's like, I have to drink first, I have to get drunk.
To karaoke?
Even better because then she's gonna make bad decisions and I'm probably gonna get laid.
That means don't do that, ladies.
All right, now the fun one, and we're starting with you. Your son wants to date an OnlyFans girl, and she's got 10 plus bodies. Do you support his decision?
I mean, ultimately you can't tell people what to do, even like your kids. But I would advise against it for sure.
Okay.
And that's just
Why?
because I don't know. I would never do OnlyFans, and I'm not saying that.
Go ahead, say it. Fuck the moles.
I hope I don't offend anybody because
I
sex work is real
Really,
work.
you know, apologize if I offended anyone.
But the type of son that I would be raising, he would not be dating somebody who's on OnlyFans. No, I just would rather raise somebody with a little bit higher morals and standards than that. And I'm sorry, but that's just my standard, and I would want to pass that on to my kids as well because like there's a reason for it.
But what was the reason? I had a reason. What was the reason? What was the
I don't feel
I'm
like
just messing with you. You said it enough.
okay.
What about you?
I would advise against it. Like, I don't know if they would listen to me, but I would totally give advice, give my input.
What would you tell him? Why would you tell him that the OnlyFans girl with 10 plus bodies is not a good choice?
Because she
for
gets
your
enough
woman?
attention. She gets a lot of attention. She has a lot of options. And it's like, how do you know that she's going to be focused on you?
So you don't think she'd be true?
Yeah.
Because what would you tell him? Like, why? Like, he's going to want to know why. Well, why, Mom? She's fucking hot.
Because she's putting herself out there. So if like you put yourself in compromising positions, chances are you're going to get compromised by whatever you're putting yourself in. So it's
Yeah.
like, if that's the space that she's in, then expect, sorry, not sorry, you should expect something to happen. Now, I'm not saying there aren't women out there that don't do that. I'm sure there is, but what are the odds?
It's my turn. Okay, so I have a funny anecdote to like answer this question. So I was recently like backpacking in Thailand, and I became really close with this 21-year-old English guy named Jack. And right away we just started talking, super fucking smart kid, like really good heart. And I remember we were at this hostel and these two girls came, and right away I was like, oh no, this girl is trouble. This girl is trouble. And he started like they started like flirting, and I was like, well, I barely know him, but how do I tell him like this girl is trouble? Because like I care. He's like, you know, like a brother now, you know? And at the end, like a few weeks later, he ended up like moving on. But I had a conversation. I was like, I didn't know how to tell you that like this girl. And he's like, oh no, yeah, I knew. And I was like, listen, like go have fun, meet girls, wear a condom, but like also like you're too smart for like intelligent to be with a woman who's trouble, you know, or like in this, it's not trouble, but right now what she is, as you say, she's trying to as a woman and only find fans to like get attention somewhere else. But hold on, now I'm like kind of retracting because I'm like, well, in what situation is she and why is she doing what she's doing? That's like
Context.
Yeah, the context behind it.
They're
You
doing
know,
it because they can. Point blank, period.
True, and I feel like if it was my son, I know he could get a like sexy badass bitch.
That's not on OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
you
That is
would-
like an intelligent woman who's also sexy, and that makes her sexy. Like, I would think if like I educated my son, like, yeah, he would be like an intelligent man. Yeah,
Because you are one.
I am.
was
Yeah.
raised well.
I mean.
Yeah, I mean.
Exactly.
I don't. A woman's on OnlyFans because she can be. Because you're not gonna like this, but women are inherently lazy.
Ooh, that hurt me.
And again, it's in general, and it's okay. It's not a problem. But women don't want to do hard labor, which is why the majors that they choose in college are not ones that involve tons of fucking work, tons of manual labor or anything like that. So if I can play with myself or show my tits online for a bunch of horny retards and get paid. I mean, some of these girls are making $10,000 a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why they're doing it. It's not like I need to do it. No, you're doing it because it's very little of your time to do whatever to make tons of fucking money.
Yeah, but also in my head I would be like, but you also could probably meet a fucking hot as engineer.
Oh no, for
or something,
sure.
Yeah,
No, I agree. I'll let you answer before I say what I need to say.
No, I think my answer is pretty similar to theirs. I would not condone it, and it's just based on the fact that if she doesn't respect herself, she's not going to respect you. That's how I see it. And women who, and this is probably going to hurt people's feelings, I don't really care. I don't think sex work is a respectful job at all. I think it's lazy. I think that there's so many other things you could do. That if a woman's showing her lady parts to the world, she doesn't respect herself. Therefore, she's not going to respect you, your relationship, and she's not going to teach your daughter any morals. It just trickles down to the whole different problems that I have no problem sitting down with my son and explaining everything to.
I mean, I 100% agree. I saw. First of all, it's just society. This whole glorification of whoring has gotten out of hand. The Cardi B's, the Megan Thee Stallions, the fucking Sexy Reds. Good Lord.
Tell her to become her OnlyFans manager. That's called pimping.
Hey, they have them. They have them. Hey, it's legal prostitution. That's legal pimping. You're right. It's a lazy thing to do. Sex work. You're not going to get the man you want having a sex work job and expect to be a wife. Like, no man wants to hold a hoe's hand. No man wants to claim a hoe. No man wants to stand there at the end of an altar waiting for you to walk down the aisle and everybody in the audience has seen your butthole for $4.99 a month. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's not what we want to do. You know what I mean? And this is the music that's being pushed. This is the shit online that's being pushed. I mean, my pussy pink, my booty hole brown. Like, that's the fucking hot song. You know what I'm saying? The best song on Drake's album starts with "Shake that ass, bitch. Let that coochie breathe." I mean, this is what it is, and I don't think women care anymore about having families. Not you guys in particular, but in general, women today don't care about having families, don't care about being in relationships until they can't. Then they get pissed off. That's where the biggest problem is. Go ahead and live this sexual liberation, but when it comes to bite you in the ass, don't cry about it, because fast money comes with slow problems. So you can get this quick bag, but that's all you're going to be left with is a bunch of empty ass handbags when it's all said and done.
Yeah. Well, it hasn't been around long enough for us to really see the repercussions of this.
OnlyFans?
Yeah. Like,
Because
I don't know.
It's not just OnlyFans. It's
like,
feminism in general. This whole boss bae mentality. Like,
well,
the most
an
unhappy
alpha female is different than being like. There's a distinction, because I feel like an alpha female will know when to step into her femininity, and she knows that it must.
I don't think a woman that calls herself an alpha female has the idea of being a feminine woman at the forefront of her.
I think we need to redefine what alpha is.
I think that a woman calling herself an alpha.
That's what I think.
It's my understanding that being an alpha means that you're like the leader.
And that's the issue. Is like, alpha is defined by everyone by their own lens, so it's very subjective. But I do think that it needs to be redefined, because
an alpha is very simple. An alpha is that person who does what the fuck they want without really giving a shit about what anybody else has to say about it.
And
No
again,
real remorse.
There will be people who disagree with you.
Well, no, I'm telling you that's the firm definition of alpha. You know what I mean?
That person, take that with a grain of salt.
And,
to be honest.
Well, I get it, but I'm just telling you what that person is, and it's apparent to everybody in the vicinity is that man is the alpha in this room. He's gonna do what he wants to do, and he doesn't care about how anybody feels about it.
I think that there are women who are in their masculine, and then there are alpha women. I think there are women that really exercise their masculinity, and that might be because the men that they've encountered haven't allowed them to step into their softness, or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I think, yeah.
I think that women go into their masculine out of survival. Like they have to. They don't have somebody there, so they have to step up and be in their masculine. That's why women who get into sex work and everything, they don't have the best upbringing. Like, let's just be honest. They don't have
Say that again? What's that last part?
They don't have the best upbringing.
No, before that.
That
women
who don't have like a dependable community or a man to depend on or something like that, they're going to be forced into their masculine for survival, because you can't be out there having no support and then not grinding. So, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, if you don't have that support system, that's what's going to lead to these bad decisions. That's what's going to lead to, even intelligence.
It doesn't always have to be a bad decision either. Just
expectation
drive
on
that.
women. Because nowadays women are doing that with even if they have families. I know there's so many women are skipping college and going straight to the strip club. Yeah. Whereas someone like myself, I've been on my own since I was 15 years old. I don't have any parents. It's just been me, and then I had my first son, and I've never in my life even thought.
Me neither. I had a roommate at one point in time, and she was doing stuff like that. I never got into it, and we're actually not friends because we're just so not aligned. She was just a roommate at the time. And I just know that she didn't have anybody. She didn't have her dad. She didn't have her mom. And that's the life. Those were the cards that she was dealt. And it's unfortunate. And, her life didn't go, as well as... Yeah. But it is what it is. I just think that women have to do what they have to do. It's just survival.
All right, well, check this out.
I could also Google...
Oh, go ahead.
I Googled alpha and what it means. It says... denoting the dominant animal or human in a particular group. So to be the alpha, you have to be the dominant one.
And you can be dominant as a woman and still learn how to be in your femininity. Both can coexist.
No, you can't turn that off.
I think you both can coexist.
Okay, well, let me tell you why you can't turn it off.
You can.
Because you can turn it off momentarily, but it's going to come back up because of what she just said about this whole survival mode and all this other stuff.
That's called therapy. You seek therapy to see where your blind spots are.
Well, first of all,
that
most women quit therapy once they're held accountable for their decisions.
That's not true. You're generalizing.
No, I'm not. There's studies on it. When women are held accountable, they quit therapy.
I'd like to know what your resources are.
Okay, I'll pull them up after the show.
But you know what I mean? Are they made references? Studies? Yeah.
But the point is therapy hasn't been helping anybody. It's a way for therapists to continue making money by telling you to come back.
And to be honest, therapy can be anything. It could be talk therapy. It could be like yoga,
but healing
exercise,
starts with accountability.
With yourself, absolutely.
Okay? So that's your therapy. Being accountable for your choices.
I mean, that's step one to get to the help. Yes.
Well, it's as simple as that. There's not too many steps to it. Once you're accountable for the actions that you've taken that gotten you to the place where you're at, then you accept the fact that, I brought all this shit on myself. There are very rare occasions that it was uncontrollable.
Implement steps to change that.
Well, what steps do you have to implement outside of saying, okay, I made bad decisions, no more am I going to make bad decisions?
So see what about you or what about your psyche in that time made you choose that? Was it the lack of awareness? Was it because you knew and you wanted to?
You're digging too deep at that time. At that point, you're wasting time.
I mean, that's how deep we are as human beings.
I don't. But it doesn't. That's where I think the problem is, because it doesn't have to be that deep. Because a man, I'll tell you from a man's point of view. Once I held myself accountable for everything that went wrong in my life, it was very simple. Stop making those dumbass decisions. Yeah. Do better.
Yeah.
I don't have to go deep into why I made those decisions. I made those decisions because I was unaware
of
I mean,
what
if
I
you
was
wanna
doing at the time.
understand yourself,
Yeah, you
I think.
can though. What's
You
wrong
can.
with
It's-
yeah?
there's
Yeah,
nothing
but that's a
wrong with-
waste of time. It's counterproductive.
I don't think it's wasteful.
Right, because
to
you can
invest in
discover
yourself.
more and more in how things interconnect.
But the past is gone. I can't change it.
no,
Right,
that's
so-
understandable.
So I go
Right.
back and dig into why I made a decision instead of noticing
Yeah,
I
because-
made decisions that brought me here. Cut those decisions off. Do
Well,
better going
you can
forward.
understand more about your childhood and how this is affecting other areas. That's what I'm saying. Everything is interconnected. Like, so why not dig deeper to really release everything, that is in there? And I understand it's in the past, but, for the future, you want to release all that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I held myself accountable for decisions I made.
Yeah.
I am no longer going to make those decisions. The reason why doesn't matter because I can't change it. So now I'm going forward doing better. I don't have to release shit. I just need to do better going forward.
I think that's because it's female and male brain. It's the emotional brain and the logical brain. He's coming from a logical standpoint of
Which is the solution to the problem.
He finds solutions.
The why doesn't matter. The action is what matters. But I digress. I wanted to address what you were talking about because women aren't put into survival mode. You're humans just like men are. And if you're an adult, you're an adult. Paying your bills, handling your business does not make you masculine. That makes you an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what makes you masculine is not listening to any fucking body that can lead you. And by being argumentative, competitive, and disagreeable.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you meet someone who can lead you to better choices, that's when you need to be, or need to be. You should always be
Open.
feminine because you're a woman and that is your nature. Because if you meet the man that you want and you're in your masculine, he's not going to wait for you to break down. He's going to move on to somebody who's already ready.
Right, but the right man will bring it out of you naturally.
But what I'm saying is it should already be there because you are a woman.
I think that if you're in your masculine as a woman.
How about this? Hold on. How about this? What if I said, I'm only going to be masculine, or I'm masculine 5 days out of the week, but on Wednesdays and Sundays, I like to wear heels and paint my nails. And if somebody breaks into the house on Wednesday and Sunday, it's your turn to fight the burglar.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I'm saying you said
your masculine traits.
No. You said it's very simple. Stop. It's very simple. You said the bright man has to bring it out of you. Well, what if a man
not has to, will.
Okay, well,
naturally.
Okay,
like,
well,
you won't even know
as
what
a man,
happens.
I have to be masculine all the time. I can't sit there and say, "Oh, the right woman's gonna bring my masculine out."
I think men should lean into more their femininity.
Really?
Too.
So you would be okay with a burglar coming in and breaking in, and your boyfriend says,
But
"I'm
I
feeling
don't feel
feminine.
that.
I'm feeling
Why? I don't
feminine
think
today."
that- Why
Let me
was that
finish.
better?
I'm asking a question. You can't answer if you're not going to let me finish answering the question. We're asleep. I'm feeling feminine today, and someone broke in, and I tell you, you go handle it because I'm feeling feminine. Is that okay?
If that's how you view femininity
Would you stay
and
with me?
masculine, I would not date you to begin with.
It's not talking about me. This is hypothetical.
Like, I would not put myself in that situation with someone who cannot see that femininity in a man is at least somewhat important.
How?
I'm not
Give me
saying
an
I'm not
example.
saying that you have to lean into it, wear dresses, paint your nails. Like, that's not even
Yeah,
at all what
I
I'm
agree.
saying.
Like, and what?
has nothing to
like,
do with
why
that.
is that femininity? It's like, oh, if somebody comes into the house, I'm not gonna protect because it's like
Well, can you give
also
me an
like
example
female
of men?
bears go with babies, and we also have that part of us.
In humanity, though, what's an example? Because I'm curious to know what your guys' thought process is. What's something that a man can do that's feminine, that's acceptable to most women?
That hurt my feelings.
That's not feminine. That's just being aware of your.
Men don't say that though, and I've talked to a lot of men that just saying that phrase, they literally say that they feel like a bitch, like a little bitch. That's verbatim, and these both men don't even know each other, and they both said the same response. I was shocked because I was like, "What? You feel like a little bitch if you say that hurt my feelings?" Like, yeah. I'm like,
trauma. I agree that a lot of men have a hard time expressing themselves. I don't think a man expressing himself is the feminine that he's talking about. I think that's human. in general. I think that
just
if he was crying about it, like, I need to sit down and talk to you, I had a long day, I need my wine, like, that would be leaning into feminine to explore his
hurt feelings.
I think I have a problem with the definition of feminine and masculine that you guys are seeing versus like I think what we are seeing.
Yeah.
Well, explain it.
I might have to take a minute to like
That's
process exactly how I want to like define those two.
What I'm saying is
But
all I was simply saying is that as a man, I have to be masculine all the time. I can't pick and choose when to be feminine. I can't even come with feminine energy because you will not be attracted to it. You will not feel safe around it, and you will not believe that I can lead you if I have feminine qualities. Okay? That's not what you're looking for in a man. Not one woman.
Not initially. Because like initially a woman will be masculine, but with the right man, she will soften and she will then lose those traits and she will allow to step in and allow him to be the man that he needs to be for her and her be the woman that he needs. But it's a lot more intricate than that. It's not just like I meet you one week and I'm gonna let you see my soft side. Like there's so much hurt that I'm subjecting myself to that I cannot do that upon meeting you. I have to
I'm not saying open up to your soft side to a man you just met. I'm saying be a lady.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Be a lady.
Yeah,
and I have to be a man. Okay? Now, when you're talking about deep into a relationship where a man can open up a bit, he can open up a bit. He can cry for a moment, death, or
tragedy.
Yeah, some type of tragedy, and he has to wipe that shit off and get back to leading. Because you're not going to follow a man because feelings can get both of us killed. So if that man is crying and cannot lead, you no longer feel safe. For instance, it would the extreme would be if I were in battle, right? Men and women can now both be in the army. If we're in battle and I'm your commanding officer, and panic, bombs are coming in over this, and I just start crying, do you trust me to lead you anymore?
I just laugh.
You're not laughing. Bombs are coming at us. People are shooting
and that's
at us.
exactly what's happening. Men are not pulling their pants up and being the man, so women have to step into that role. So if I see a man that does that and I feel like I'm brave enough to do what they're not doing, then I have to pick up the slack.
But you just said it was okay for him to do it.
At that point, but not upon meeting. Exactly what I said. My softness is not going to come upon meeting someone.
And men are going to cry upon meeting you.
Exactly.
So that's not what we're talking about.
So what you're saying is not going to happen. A man is not going to initially show me their soft side.
I'm talking about down the road. If he cries for too long, you don't feel safe.
I mean, if that's how he feels, I can't.
I know, but you're not going to feel safe and you're not going to stay there. That's what you're missing. Because women get turned off immediately. Coochie dries up when you see a man crying. If
he doesn't do anything about it, like get help, and all he does is cry, then yeah, maybe you should seek some professional help.
But I think obviously there is women that are attracted to that, and I think it comes
but
from
exceptions don't make rules. Majority of women do not.
But that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, it's where you're at with your feminine and masculine versus the other person. So if I'm more a high masculine and like less feminine, but it's like how do the two complement each other, right? Because maybe she is like in a more masculine, he's in a more feminine, but it works out because they're
It'll never work long term.
But you're saying they're looking into I think they're seeking each other.
It won't work long term. How about this? Let's say you're really masculine. Are you claiming to be a bit more masculine?
I definitely have more of a masculine energy.
Question. Let's break this down for you. Do you want your man to be taller than you? Do you prefer?
I don't care.
Do you prefer?
No, I really don't.
Okay, so you don't mind him being shorter than you?
No, I have dated shorter guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, see, what you've done and what you currently have are two completely different things. Because you dated, you're not with him. So what I'm talking about is if you could build your dream man, what would you prefer?
It's like
I'm not saying
personality. It's not really.
Okay, it's a list of questions, but when you answer these questions, I need you to look at it like your dream man.
Okay. Right now, I don't. There is not one in my head physically.
Okay.
Like when you say it, I'm like.
Okay. Do you want this man to be competent?
Okay, but not physical, right? Because you said 6'2", so we're not talking about the physical.
Who said 6'2"?
You were like, you would like your man to be 6'2". That's what you originally said, and I was like, oh, so we're talking not physical traits.
I don't
Okay.
remember saying that.
Okay.
I just asked if you wanted him to be taller than you.
Okay, taller. That doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want him to be competent, more competent than you?
In which ways?
Whether it's intelligence, physically, whatever, any type of competency.
You see, but this is again the balance, right? Because
And
in
is
certain
yes
ways,
or no?
No,
Okay,
that's
so
not trying to like argue that I don't think it's a yes or no question. Because competent in what ways? Like in some ways, I might be, more intelligent or not, but in other ways, he's gonna
In ways that matter.
What ways matter?
When it
like,
comes to
it's
a long-term
so
relationship,
bad.
and like, see, that's the thing. So back to when we were talking about, like you grew up with brothers and all this other thing. Your emotions are thinking way too much into this. When it comes to this question, it's very simple. Do you want this man to be more competent than you?
That's what I argue. That I don't think it's simple.
Do you want the man to be able to lead you? Yes or no?
Yeah, but I'm also like I think again, yes, in that category, yes, sure.
Okay. Do you want this man
But
to?
in which I am like there are certain
do you want
ways
this man to be?
I don't mind being the leader either. When it comes to sometimes leading a trip, okay, I know how to lead a trip because I'm really good at that and I have like learned how to, and maybe he hasn't. So
Okay,
then
but
I will take the lead. But if
This
it's
is
the
why
other
I
way
asked.
around,
This
right?
is why I asked prefer. Would you prefer a man who was more well-traveled than you and could plan the trip
Okay,
better
so
than
now
you?
we're going on specific again.
No, that's the reason I'm asking the question. It doesn't
Right,
have to
yeah,
be
okay.
specific. No, it doesn't have to be specific because the point is that typically you're going to want someone who is taller than you because you feel safer with a taller man, a stronger man. Most women do. Maybe not you. You could be the grossest exception to the rule ever, okay? But most women want their man to be taller than them, okay? Most women want their man to be more competent than them. Most women want a leader, even in traveling, because...
So we're talking about okay.
I'm talking about a dream man. I'm not talking about what you're capable of. No one's questioning your capabilities.
I actually wasn't. No, that wasn't a question. It was more of like it depends on the situations. You said you only like him to be a leader, and I was like, well, in certain ways, I don't mind me taking that role, but in other ones, sure, I would like to take the lead in some other way.
The reason I'm giving no, you're fine. But the thing is that.
We agree to disagree.
No. That's just not a recipe to a long-lasting relationship. It's not, because if you think that men and women are equal, it's not going to work.
That's not what I said. I said that it varies.
But
there's no.
But the
we're
nature,
looking at it as like, when there's so many, as you said,
variables. There's so many variables. Yeah.
But there's not too many variables to nature and how men and women interact. Okay? And women are better at certain things. So where she takes the lead is at home, with the children, with the nurturing, with the love, with the care, with the emotions, with the taking the weight and stress off of. And he is best at providing, protecting, building, and leading. Like that's the nature of man and woman. Now, I understand everything that you're saying, but if what you were talking about worked, then you'd have somebody who's already there, because there would be somebody that is like, oh, cool, she's good at traveling, I'm going to let her lead the traveling. Exactly. I'm good at this, I'm going to let her do this, or I'm going to do this. But it ain't there.
Do you think that a man can be more feminine but then change himself to step into his role as a masculine man? Like, let's say he didn't have like a, I don't know, an upbringing
Sure, there's an exception, but no.
You don't think like people can change into becoming just like more of a man, or stepping into being more of a man, not putting up with bullshit, changing, like you said, like changing things that don't work for them.
But that has to happen at a very young age, because you can't change that. And I mean, by young, like teenage years, like if you're a sissy, you're gonna stay a sissy.
Yeah.
It doesn't just turn off. And that's why I said that women aren't just going to be able to turn off their masculinity for good. Because if you are in survival mode, those things are going to creep back up when you start feeling like you're creeping back into survival mode.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And you're going to creep back into survival mode when you feel like someone's taking something from you. So your masculinity is gonna pop right back up. It can't just turn off. It's gonna rear its ugly head.
Yeah, but at some point it becomes cyclical, and that's when you need to notice that it's a pattern and see, okay,
And
this
switch
happens
it up.
every time. It doesn't work out. I've had X amount of failed relationships when this happened. What am I doing? Like, if you are the common denominator in all these failed situationships, at some point you're gonna have to say, what is it that I'm doing that is making this happen? What is it that I'm doing? And that's when you have to go within, and that's when you do have to go that deep. Now, I think men don't do that, and I think that's why they often find themselves in the same situations over and over again. But I think at some
Women
point,
find themselves in the same situations over and over again.
absolutely, I believe that as well. But I think that women are more likely to self-reflect and go inside and say, like, what's wrong.
But
Interesting to hear that, because
so what
accountability is something that women have a hard time with.
So are you saying that women self-improve more than men?
I mean, look at all these yoga spaces that you're in, cacao ceremonies. It's typically mostly women, and I think
And most of those
naturally
women are
intuitive-
damaged as fucking still trying to heal.
At
Still
least
trying
we're
to heal.
actively trying to heal.
Yeah, but
as
men,
opposed to women that are
and
not
men don't
there.
have the don't. First of all, we don't have the time to do that, because if we don't succeed, life
You
will
make
show
the time
us.
for the things that you
Okay,
want.
but what I'm telling you, as a man in society, if we don't produce, we lose. You don't have that
I
barrier
believe
of
that.
performance.
I believe that.
Women don't have that barrier of performance.
But it
so
all
what
comes
you're
from
trying
desire,
to do,
though. Like, it just goes back to what I said. It goes back to desire. I think women have more of the desire to self-reflect or go internalize or go
Sure, but
do
what has
these
it
retreat
done?
things.
Because I don't know anybody in these
If we're-
cacao circles and these yoga spaces that have
You're not
become,
there.
But I know a lot of them.
Okay.
And I see it, and
I think women also
really
women
fair point.
women care about like community with other women more, like having a bunch of friends and stuff like that. That's like tribal stuff. Like
Yeah,
we would
that goes
help
back to-
if men went to war.
We're talking
we
about
stayed with
nature.
each other and helped each other take care of each other's kids. And even in the 50s, they used to have cleaning parties where all the women would get together.
Women
help.
were more feminine back then.
Women were more feminine back then because they didn't work back then. They got the right to
Yeah.
vote,
They had
and
more
then
time to
after
do
that,
feminine things.
and then after that, things changed.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
I see a lot of men's spaces though that I don't, because I have brothers and stuff like that, so I get to see like
Oh, like
both.
Sacred Sons or something.
Well, no, there's like mentorship where it's like they get young men in their early 20s, teach them how to dress properly, interview properly, learn the stock market,
That's
learn
cool.
a useful skill. They learn how to be a man. There's a lot of that goes on, especially in like the South and like North Carolina, Texas. There's even like the home compound thing that they're teaching men in Texas. Like there's a lot of men that believe in self-improvement too. The issue is they're not online, and this is not to offend or say anything, but they don't attention seek. They do it so they can build their lives. Women go online and they meet these groups, and I've been invited to these groups. I've been to some of these yoga sessions, and it's a lot of women will come together and they'll talk about their peace and trying to be better people, but they're sleeping with
I
each
think
other's
that's
men and talking stuff about
the
each other. So
I think
there's
that's true. On women need to take more accountability in
Correct.
that sense, because I've gone to like Reiki things and I'm like, these people are like high on their
Toxic.
own bullshit right now.
that's
like you're
what
not
I'm
just.
saying.
But I've seen people actually change too.
No,
like,
for sure. There's
there's
exceptions to
there's
everything.
exceptions.
But
Right.
but what she was saying is what I was trying to say, which is that men, everything that you said that men work on is to produce. How to interview, how to be better, how to be in shape, how to be a man, how to do these things, because men don't matter until they bring something to the table. Women do not have the same burden of performance that men have. So we can talk about emotional intelligence all we want. Emotional intelligence is somebody who can take an emotion, intelligently think about it, and decide which the best decision is instead of let that emotion take them over. Just because I go inside and feel deeply doesn't mean I'm intelligent about my emotion, because an
it's
emotional
how you
person makes bad decisions. When you make emotional decisions, you make erratic decisions.
Do you know there was a study about people who had that part of their brain, the part that processes emotion, was damaged, and they could not make a decision for their life. They just didn't know how to make decisions. So with that being said, we are actually emotional beings. Whether you want to believe that or not, you can go online and Google this. It's a true study. Like, they just
emotional beings?
People who have a
Human
higher
beings.
emotional
I understand
IQ.
that.
So to negate and say, like, I'm not saying wallow in your feelings. I'm not saying like, you know,
Neither
wallow
did
in
I.
despair and like cry and like all that kind of stuff. But allow it to happen. You know, I think that women need to create that space for men to allow that to happen. And then men should be able to see that and maybe give it a chance. Like, yeah, I do need to cry at this moment. And it doesn't mean you have to cry every single day or anything like that. Like, it's just, we're human beings. We do have feelings. You do feel them. And so what's wrong with just feeling them sometimes?
You are right. It should be that way, but it isn't. So men have to adjust to what is. Okay? So should women be more accepting of men's feelings? Sure. But most of them aren't. So we don't bother with them.
Well, then maybe that's the narrative that we should push. Maybe that's the narrative that we
It's-
should be expanding, is that women should.
Sure,
should.
but there's a lot of shit that should. People shouldn't be homeless. We shouldn't be giving Ukraine $100 billion when we've got people sleeping on the floor
Yeah,
here.
but homelessness is not something that I can tackle on my own. But
And,
when it
and we
comes to
can't
my
tackle we can't tackle this on our own
individuality.
either. But what I'm
Well,
saying
when
is,
you have a
hold on, let me
platform like
finish.
this, yes.
Let me finish. At the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is very simple: is that as a man, again, we are judged on our performance, what we accomplish. We cannot get, we cannot receive, we cannot do, we can't even get the opportunity to cry until we've proven enough to get the attention from the woman to have the space to do so. Okay? Women do not have that burden of performance. You can cry on the first fucking date. It doesn't disqualify you. But if I cry on the first date, I'm not getting a second. Okay? So the point I'm trying to make is that yes, men are emotions too. We feel emotions too. But we adjust to them quickly. We feel fear. We feel pain. We feel sadness. We feel anxiety. We feel anger. Okay? But that emotional man ends up in prison because men are more prone to violence than women are. So we
Because they
have
need to learn how to.
No, that's just the nature of male and females.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay? Just like I said, when
I'm
you
gonna
leave,
agree to disagree. I'm gonna say yes, but I actually do not agree.
Okay, but this is biological. Because just like I said with the whole girls
How
and
many
boys,
biological classes have you taken?
girls and boys playing. These are books that I've
That's what
read.
I wanted to
Everything.
know. Okay.
You can. I can show you the studies when we're done. But like I said, boys and girls, and when they're playing and left to their own devices, boys will fight. Girls won't fight. They'll just stop playing with each other. Okay, men are more prone to
I
violence.
don't know. The lineage of women that I come from in El Salvador, they all held AK-47s. Like, that's where my ancestors come from, and I know that trauma is in my DNA.
That's not
so, like,
the overall woman. You're
not.
bringing it to yourself.
I have to because.
No, you don't, because we're talking in general. Because
then why am I here?
This is why, because we're talking about the whole thing, not you in particular.
I am talking about myself in particular in this moment.
Exactly, but that's a solipsistic, selfish thing to do because we're trying to help people watching.
It's a point of view.
Yeah, I agree.
I understand it's a point of view, but your point of view does not reflect
Your point of view is
most
not
of
valid.
What is
so don't say
most?
it.
No, I didn't say
what
it's
is
not
most?
valid. See, you're putting words in your mouth. This is emotional. This is what I'm talking
I'm
about.
not even
You're
upset.
not. I know,
I'm
but
not
you're
upset.
but you're being a smartass based on
I am,
your
and that's
personal.
okay.
I know, but this is the thing. It's you say that we're able to deal with emotions and should be able to use them.
I mean,
you
perfect
can't
example.
He's
You raising
very
your voice.
emotional
I'm
right
not-
now. Yeah, I was
I'm
gonna
not-
say you're getting very emotional.
Yes, you're very
right now.
heated.
Yeah.
I haven't raised my voice. I'm moving my hands a bit more, but I'm not. I haven't
definitely
raised
raised
my
your
voice.
voice,
But the reason for that is because you're intentionally not listening. You're intentionally interrupting, and you're intentionally drawing it back to you in particular.
I already told you that I don't agree. So we can stop.
But this
or
is
you
also-
can talk to someone else that does agree.
But this is also my show, and I'm going to get my point across.
Go ahead.
Okay, so point blank period.
So only your voice needs to be heard.
No, this is my show. We're
I
going to
think
do it.
I'm like,
not fair.
I think
That
I'm
I agree.
interpreting this wrong.
know.
You're choosing to, because
I
she
think I
understands
just-
what this
I
is.
think
This is a conversation.
Okay, listen to what I just said. I think that I'm interpreting this wrong. That's me acknowledging that I'm not clearly
You're not
comprehending.
trying to.
It feels
I
like
am.
it feels like you're not letting her
get her opinion. It has to be yours, and that's everybody. And it's like we're trying to be like, but that's not everybody.
But to be fair, he didn't get
And
to
I've
finish
said
his
that.
point.
I didn't get to exactly. Both of you guys keep jumping in
time.
every time I talk. First of all, second of all, I stated at the beginning, everything that I say on this show is generally speaking. Your personal experience does not reflect how majority of the world looks at things. So I'm not saying it's invalid. I'm saying that it's not important. For instance, left-handed people exist, correct?
Yeah, they do right here.
Okay. But there's not an abundance of left-handed scissors, okay? They don't just sell them everywhere. There's a special scissor because there's not a lot of left-handed people. So someone's personal experience doesn't matter when we're talking about the general public. Okay, so that's all I'm saying. So when I'm talking about this, it doesn't mean that what she's saying isn't true. It doesn't mean that her personal experience isn't true or yours. What I'm saying is it doesn't matter to the generality of the conversation, what most people are dealing with, which is why it's irrelevant to bring it to yourself. I'm not talking about me because none of the shit we're talking about applies to me. I'm not an average man.
Yeah, I am odd. I'm the left-handed, you know.
Okay, so that's fine. And you can have...
What?
We have some comments in there that I think also show that there are other women who don't agree with, you know, what you guys are saying, because in reality, most women are very superficial, and they, like he said, 6 foot or taller, high value, all that. There's majority of women go for the same kind of men. And I don't think he was saying that men lack emotions. Men cannot react and make decisions based on their emotions. But I don't think that point got across because both of you guys started to kind of...
Or do they have more emotional intelligence sometimes?
Men?
I personally believe that we do.
I don't know what the IQ, I don't know what the statistics would be, the EQ, but I do know that if you do have higher emotional intelligence, you'll actually do better than somebody who has a high IQ in workspaces and all of that. So it is important, obviously.
There was a study.
It's very important because men have to. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Okay. But that's,
like you said, crying in the battlefield, you can't have that.
You can't have that. You can't
be able to process it.
You can't cry at work. You can't do anything.
Survival.
You have to be able to adjust to the shit that is thrown at you and make a logical decision. Doesn't mean that you can't delve deep later and think about it or whatever the case may be. But I have to worry about what's important now, and that's what men have to do. That's what we have to do. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be able to deal with their emotions in a different way, but we just don't do that, and we have not been given the space. It's just like you saying that I can tap into my femininity when the right man allows that to happen. Well, maybe men can tap into a more emotional side that you personally may like if he can get there with you. But most women don't want that emotion from their man because they won't feel safe. And that's all I was trying to say because it's a general topic, not a Vanessa topic.
I'm glad that we're sharing different perspectives. I think that's what's interesting. And I think
1000%,
that
yes.
at the end of the day, I'm grateful that we are having, otherwise it would be like boring. We're all thinking the same, you know what I mean? So like...
Son of a bitch.
He's struggling over there.
I like that your perspective comes because you work with like people who have disabilities, correct?
Yes, I do.
So you have to have an open mind, and you kind of have to be nurturing with, and that's probably why you feel so passionate about it, because you move in every part of your life with passion. Probably is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, these kids are so different.
I have a son with special needs. My son's autistic. He's 5,
okay.
and
That's
so it's
age group that
I'm gonna have to ask you some questions when we're on camera. But no, I appreciate your passion.
I love them. I don't think I'm
Don't
supposed to
change. It's the best.
Yeah.
Let's read some of these comments. Scroll up a little bit. I want to read Ms. Bacon's in a second, but maybe they had something.
That's the pimp comment loophole.
Oh, okay.
He said legal loophole. I'm like, oh, he's been thinking about it. Okay,
right?
Dog Zombie 777. Got it.
A contrarian just arguing to arguing. She isn't saying anything.
Yeah.
women fake improvement or wanting to improve a lot because they enjoy being in an environment where other women are improving but still aren't as well off as themselves.
I've been at like cacao ceremonies and different things like that, and I can say that there are different types of people there. There are women who are trying to actively work on the shit that they know they need to work on, and then there's other people who obviously just want to be there, just want to be yeah, like a social group. It's more social, it's more friendly, and they are fun. I mean, I'm not gonna like front like they're not, but I do see the bullshit in a lot of the spiritual community. Like a lot of people
they're faking it.
Yeah,
That's wild.
yeah. But I think, you know, I don't know. I don't have.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I'm not going to bash anybody for whatever route that they take to their self-improvement. Okay? But what I will say is no different from some personal trainers, no different from people doing what I do, no different from some of the people, the motivational speakers. A lot of people are high on their own bullshit. I totally agree with that. And you can see it. You can see the fakeness. Because here's the thing. I personally cannot take advice from someone who is not living the kind of life that I want to live. So when I see...
Why would you?
Well, but a lot of people do. And that's kind of what where I agree with you with the whole spiritual community. It's like, cool, you're a hippie, you're free, go with the flow, breathe, all of these other things. But it's like, you're talking shit about other people. You don't like that this person's doing the same thing that you're doing, and they're dealing with some of the clients that you've got. Like just the beef. Yeah. It's like if there's enough for everyone.
Yeah, they're not abundant.
There's enough for everyone.
Scarcity mindset.
And it's like your inner work needs to be done by you. There is no group session for it. And that's what I was talking about. That accountability is where it starts, and it doesn't have to go much further than that. Because if you want to heal, you have to accept what is and then move on from it.
Yeah.
But by staying in the past, you're not going to move forward because the past is behind you. So you become accountable. You realize I made certain choices that put me in certain places. Like certain things happened, and it is what it is. Now I'm going to do better from here, right? And that's literally all I was saying. But I mean, however you want to get there, that's completely up to you.
Yeah, it's like in The Lion King where he's like, "Oh yeah, the past hurts, but you can."
Yeah, that's one of my favorite fucking lines. What are you gonna do about it?
You can. What does he say? You can learn something by it, or you can learn from it. Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's.
But yeah, so the whole reason we got to this topic was because I was saying that we were talking about being able to turn on femininity and turn it on and off. And all I was saying is that I can't sit there and say that. I can't sit there and say, I'm going to be masculine when the right woman brings it out of me. I can't sit there and say, I'm going to be a leader when the right woman allows me to lead. I can't sit there and say, I'm going to be a protector and a provider when the woman is ready for me to do that. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I can't say that if I was a feminine man that, oh, I can be macho when it's necessary. No, you're either it or you're not. There is no back and forth. There is no in between. Because when you get your counterpart, that yin to your yang, that masculine man is going to choose someone who's naturally feminine, not somebody who is still battling with the past. Because I'm here now, and I'm your future. Women care about the man's future. We care about a woman's past. And if your past is holding you back from our future, then I'm going to move on to the next shit.
That's why people should work on themselves before they start dating. Yeah. They should work on, like, that's the whole accountability factor and doing the work and
But
everything.
here's the thing, though. I mean, I agree, but for how long? You can't wait too long. So basically, what I'm saying is be accountable for the shit that happened.
Just move on.
Yes, because shit
new
happens
habits.
to. Here's the thing: shit happens to everybody.
Oh, for
Depression, sadness,
Trauma, everything.
trauma
Everybody.
is a first world fucking privilege, because you travel. Poverty is way worse in the rest of the world than it is here. But those children have smiles on their faces. Yeah. Those families are well knit. They're together and there's love there with nothing. They don't have microphones. They don't have fans. They don't have, some of them don't have running fucking water, but they're happy. And we're over here bitching and complaining and have to go do these spiritual healings and dig deep into these emotions and all this other shit just to get ahead, when it's like, shit happened. Shit happened to her, him. So, shit, this person even got a fucking arm, but they're making it. This person's missing a leg. They're making it. This person is blind. They're making it. This person is halfway retarded. They're making it.
They also have more community. Like, I feel like we don't have a lot of community here. Like, we don't have that. They have a lot more community in Mexico and other places I've been to, where, like, your neighbor, this and this. There's not so much disconnection.
Yeah, for sure.
So they rely on each
They've
other.
Divided us.
If your community's doing good, you're gonna be happy.
So that's why women go to these ceremonies, cacao ceremonies, and yoga. It's because people are trying to like find that community in other ways. Because we are humans that that need that connection, that grew up in tribes with people, right, and danced and did all these things together. And now, all of a sudden, we just kind of like
opportunity to do that,
stuck in these boxes, and we don't have that interaction.
So my only advice would be to go to the Reiki, the yoga, the any kind of spiritual thing, to somebody who has already done the work and is where you want to be.
Sure.
Because as a man, if I were to go get some motivation, I'm not going to go to a trainer that's more out of shape than me. So if you're still dealing with your shit while giving Reiki, I can't get to go to you.
Yeah.
So I think it just depends, because there's different brands, right? I would call it a brand of Reiki. There's a brand there, I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. But there is these beautiful places of people. Like, actually, my mom was a Reiki healer. So like, yeah, you're putting it in this like box, like don't go. But I also think like it's evolutionary. Like, oh, go get help before you start. I was like, it's a constant work. It's a forever work that you're going to be working on, because things continue to come up in different ways in your life, and you just learn how to deal with those things in different ways. And every time you grow and there's the next step, it's like, there's not an end.
But if you're at step 6, would you go to someone who's at step 2 for advice?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Right, but he put it in the category, or maybe I got it wrong from you, but I got it like in this category. You wouldn't go to a Reiki healer or or this if like you're in step 2, but it depends, right? It's like, not because I am at step 2, there isn't a Reiki healer that's at step 7. You know what I mean? It comes with experience and where they're at.
That's what he's saying, is find someone who has the experience to get to where to go.
Sure, which could be a Reiki healer, which could be. Oh, sorry. So then I misunderstood.
I'm not saying not Reiki. I'm saying what she said.
Okay.
If you're gonna go do Reiki and you're at step 6, you're not gonna go to step 2 Reiki master.
For sure.
To go get the advice. That's what I'm saying. And then also, again, that's the difference between men and women. Why I'm saying you can't turn on your femininity and turn it off whenever you feel like it. Because as a man, I can't continue to I it is a constant work, but I still have to produce. For you to be in a relationship, your burden of performance isn't the same. Not you in particular, but as a woman, your burden of performance isn't the same, because men and women are not looking for the same thing from each other. The biggest difference between most men and women is I personally will go date a woman who works at Dollar Tree if she's pretty enough, feminine, friendly, and good looking, and wants me. She doesn't have to work a day in her life. Women, on the other hand, are not dating a man as handsome as he wants to be who works at the fucking Dollar Tree. They're not taking care of him for the entirety of his life. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I was saying when it comes to the femininity, turning it on and off. you have to be ready for the man that you want. Because he already has to come ready to get you in the first place. Because women want a man who's already put together. That's all I was saying. Nothing? All right. Okay.
That's pretty good.
Let's go back around and you guys tell me one thing you liked and didn't like about the show, and then we can call it a night. Let's start with you.
That's not fair. I started on the first time.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead. You start.
But Europe again.
I don't know. I mean, I obviously like hearing everybody's opinions and everything like that. I don't know. I'm just here.
One thing you liked.
One
thing you didn't like. Or one thing that you learned that you didn't know. Even with all the questions you asked. Not you in particular, but all of you asked.
I guess my question. I feel like I guess my question. I just sound different when I'm back here than I'm here.
Your voice does sound completely different.
Yeah,
It's all like
it's-
radio show host.
Yeah,
Up close.
we talked about this last time. I like the fact that that there are guys that will stick around because somebody's down for them and stuff like that. I think that that's a good thing to hear because I see things like The Wolf of Wall Street, where he leaves his girl that was there for him in the beginning and leaves for
Kanye West says it the best. When you get on, you leave your ass for somebody else. I ain't gonna say what he actually says.
And then get on and leave your ass for a white girl.
But I don't know what I didn't like. I mean, I just like hearing everybody's perspectives on things in general. So, or just I don't know.
If you liked it all, that's fine.
Yeah,
too.
I liked it all.
Constructive conversation.
Yeah, that's what I liked. I like that it can get heated. I like that because it is a controlled environment, right? Like it's not like, and so I like feeling that adrenaline that you get when you talk to people that don't agree with you. And then I like bringing it down and like just looking at the person and say like, we're cool, right? Like it's fine. Like it's fine. Like we can disagree, and I want more of that. Like I want to be able to disagree with people, and then there be no hard feelings out. Like literally no hard feelings.
I
Where's
want
that
that
clap
for
button,
all
Madison?
women in this whole country, because that's an issue that I have with female friendships. Is if I
Really?
disagree with you, they get so angry, and it's just like it goes.
Can't be friends anymore.
Yeah, we can't be friends anymore.
That's
It's
so
like I'm just telling you what you actually need to hear.
Yeah.
But for the ladies who see interactions like that earlier, except for the girl that I kicked off, nobody leaves here upset. No one leaves here upset.
damn.
Most people stay and kick it for a little while afterward.
Really?
Do not be intimidated to come on here.
Were you here?
I know that I'm
I watched
passionate.
it live.
I know that I'm passionate. I know that my tone can be aggressive, but it's all for learning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all I was saying is make it make sense. You know? But again, no, I agree. And yeah, continue. Did you have more? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I like. I think that we need to do that. And well, piggybacking off what she said, most women want their friends to agree with them. I'm definitely not that person. I'm like,
That's why I love you.
yeah, I'm like, you
Most
need-
women live in echo chambers, and
This is
they
so
don't
wild.
like hard truths, and that's something that I wish women would get over.
why is that?
I said it in the beginning of the show. You guys have been lied to for the
Our
majority of your
entire
life.
lives,
Yeah.
Our friends tell us and I've had for myself, I could not dress when I was younger, and the girls around me were like, "You look good, girl." I mean, I look. Like
Oh, that's messed up.
trash. Yeah, not real friends at all.
Because women are social creatures. Women are more socially intelligent than men. As soon as women walk into a room, they read everybody, they read the situation, they read the energy. They're more aware of that than men are. So by default, it's not in your nature to ruffle the feathers, which is why most women don't tell their friends the hard truths, because it's like I don't need to fuck up her energy.
Yeah,
I don't need to.
I see
You know what I mean? But as a man, we don't give a shit. Shit, we talk shit when you do look good. You know what I mean? Like, well, man, that's part of the roast. You know what I'm saying? Look at this motherfucker with his suit ironed and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, super pressed. You know what I'm saying? Belt matching his shoes ass nigga, man. Haircut and shit. Look at who you trying to impress?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh, you're looking good.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is like the beauty of being a human being and having different opinions. And I like that we were all passionate about it because obviously we have thought about it and we have processed this. And like, I don't know, as I said again, like to repeat, if we all had the same opinions, we would have had, you know, there wouldn't be a show. Yeah. So, yeah, I thank you for sharing all the ideas, and I know that like it got, you know, we got back and forth, but it's like cool now, like we all can go back and like reflect and, you know, really take that in and see, like, you know, I don't know, maybe next time we have different ideas and read more articles or references, you know. So yeah,
that's the one thing that I try and control though the best, which is why I have the notepads and everything else, is the letting someone talk, and because that's the biggest issue in communication between people, period. Even in text messages. Like somebody sends you a paragraph and you respond to the one point that irritated you the most.
Right? Yeah.
You know what I mean? So as we're going back and forth, I had already ticked you guys off. Right? So I had already ticked you guys off. So you guys are jumping in, and then my reaction, and then it's like, then this is what women are really good at, is manipulation. So that's why men are also not going to share their emotions with the woman, because as soon as I showed any, you pointed this shit out and downplayed me for doing it.
I see what you mean.
You see what I'm saying? And it was really just to a reaction to what you guys were doing.
But that's what women do, is they react emotionally, and it's like we get shunned for that as well. And so it's like, I think it happens on both ends, but specifically the fact that it was happening as we were talking about it, I thought was interesting.
Well, see, but that's what I'm saying. Women don't get shunned for it as much as men, and men don't do it as often as women because we can't. So, for instance, that same back and forth between us, if that were two men, we may have stood up. That standing up may have gotten closer. You see what I'm saying?
Let me stand up.
Like you guys get to use your biggest weapon, which is manipulation, which is what you did as soon as you guys are telling me that men should be able to be emotional. And as you're interrupting me, I'm getting emotional, and then you point it out and say it's a weakness. Wait.
Not a weakness.
Well, but that's how you pointed it out. That's how you framed it, okay? And that's the manipulation that I'm talking about. But I can't use my biggest strength to combat that.
No.
But if I was dealing with a man, I could have.
No, I disagree. That's not how I saw it.
We're going back. We're going back. You guys in the same circle.
This is what I'll say.
And that's not how I interpret it.
You made a comment that I because of one comment you made.
I don't see it as weak, by the way.
Agree with what
I'm just saying that's how it was presented. I didn't say you do think it's weak.
It was when he was getting emotional and like having like you could sense that he was getting intense, and you're like, so only you can talk, right? Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, so you're getting emotional, right? Okay, cool. Like that's, you dismissed it like it wasn't, like it didn't matter.
Because if I were to if I were to have the same tone that he had and the same mannerisms that he had, I would have been labeled the same way.
You were already there.
But we were already talking about that.
I wasn't flailing and I wasn't raising my voice in the manner that you were.
I wasn't interrupting you either.
But you have.
I know, but I was the one being interrupted at the point.
I mean, it is a dialogue.
Yeah, for sure. There's not a problem with it, but I'm saying that's the whole point was about being.
Your emotional response was just it didn't have to. You can emotionally respond, and it doesn't have to be in that way.
So now I have to be emotional the way you want me to in order to be emotional.
It's called emotional intelligence. That's what it's called. But you have to learn how to alchemize these emotions in a positive way. Like a woman can't
Which is
go
why
out
men
here.
just decide not to be emotional with women.
Like
because
that's why
we have to do it your way in order to.
I guess like anger is an emotion, or being in an escalated state is an emotion.
He was being. This thing though is, and I'm just being realistic. There was one person trying to get one point across, and there was the two of you tag teaming him. And as he's trying to finish his initial statement, you guys kept over talking him, and then as he got irritated, you were poking at that. you were antagonizing him.
And then now I have to do
and
it
then
your
you
way.
said that his response to that wasn't the response that you would have wanted, but you're not him.
Not that I would have
That's
wanted.
basically what you just said, though.
I don't think that it's what I wanted. I think that there are different ways to respond to things.
He didn't
to that,
yell.
to say
I've
it.
seen
Most women
emotions.
take criticism personally.
So-
She came off disrespectful, so the
And
energy
that's-
was matched.
and
I
that's-
mean, this is just
and
what people
that's-
saw.
and that-
So you may have seen it
but
different.
see, that's what I mean. It's like it's acceptable, and it's so situational and so subjective. I feel like everything is, and that's why it's so hard when we're talking about something to not put in details or get specific about something because it's so I feel like context is everything. Context is everything. So if you don't provide a little bit more detail to give that context, then what are we really talking about? And I think that that's just very hard to
Well, we're
keep it.
providing context now, and you're deflecting. We're telling you what happened, what two people saw, what the audience saw, and you're telling me that I had to be emotional in a different way in order for emotions to be accepted.
I didn't say that you had to. I'm
Or
saying that
should
you
have.
could. You could have.
Well,
You could have, but that's not the way that it was projected, and that's fine.
Do you not think that you maybe owe him an apology for continuously cutting him up? Both of you guys tag teaming him when he was just trying to get his point.
If he feels like he
I'm
needs
not
one, I
saying
can.
that. I'm just saying, like, from a perspective
Did
of
it
how the
come-
conversation went.
I
They saw
feel-
it. I saw it. You guys were cutting him off the
Like-
entire time, and you didn't let him finish. And even right now, while I'm talking, you keep saying,
Yeah.
"Well, like,"
Sorry.
and
Yeah.
things like that. And I think that is antagonizing, and I wouldn't have been able to handle it as well as he did
Yeah.
because I am an emotional woman. You know, that makes more sense to me. Like, I would have been like, "Can you stop talking while I'm talking?" And he was like, he tried to just continue.
Well, that's exactly what I mean. It's like you don't. It doesn't have to get there.
I feel
it
like right
doesn't
now she
have
was
to get
doing
there.
active listening. Like, yeah, like agreeing as you're talking.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But that's not what she was doing. That's not what she's doing before. But even like, and I understand active listening. I don't appreciate people talking while I'm talking. I think that you can just nod in agreement or disagreement. I know you're listening, but to keep saying stuff to me makes me feel like you're not listening to me to actually hear me. You're just waiting for me to talk.
That's good to know because sometimes I feel like I have to do that. I have to be like, okay, yeah. Okay, I see that. Yeah, like I have to respond. So
I would prefer for you to listen to what I have to say in its entirety and then respond to me. And that's
But
letting me
see,
know you're
that's-
listening.
that makes
But
sense.
that's also so situational. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if, like you said, you're used to doing that and you don't like that. Like, of course, there's going to be conflict because, but it's not that she's doing it because she intentionally wants to, you know,
Cause
piss you
conflict.
off. It's just
Yeah.
that's her MO and that's your MO. And I think that's exactly what happened here. And I think those are the differences that we need to embrace. Not so much like you're right and I'm wrong or they're wrong and you're right. It's just like it is what it is. There shouldn't be a right or a wrong. I think that there should just be, yeah. If you feel like you need an apology, I will. It didn't come to me innately. I will say that truthfully. It didn't come like I didn't feel inside of my soul that I felt like I needed to apologize. But since you brought it up and pointed it out, I would like to apologize if I came off disrespectful.
I don't need an apology, but I mean, that's the whole point of the whole conversation in general, which was
Yeah, same. Like, I'm sorry that I didn't. That's not
you guys are
what
fine.
I
You guys don't
wanted
need
to
to
come
apologize.
across
That's
at
what
all.
this podcast is for.
Yeah.
I like the intensity, like you said, but we are pointing out that the big part of that conversation was men being able to tap into the femininity and be emotional and be able to have a safe space to do so. And by being double teamed without being able to finish my statement, yes, I got more intense about what I was saying. And then it was poked at. And I don't need you to apologize for it, but it just goes to prove my point, which is why men can't and why men don't. I know what there should be. Just like you said, there shouldn't be a right or a wrong. That's what there is. The world works on yeses and nos, rights or wrongs. Like, we're no one's denying exceptions. No one's denying what should be, but we have to react to what is. Okay? And what is what just happened to me is why men just don't do it. Because that is the woman's biggest weapon, is that pointing out that you're being somewhat soft. And As soon as you attack a man's manhood, that's when emotions get even bigger.
I don't consider that being soft. I consider that coming across as a little defensive.
But a synonym of that could be being soft. I'm telling you how it's perceived because it is an emotion, and I'm a man, and I'm telling you that if a man did the same thing that you did, he's now challenging me.
But I'm not a man.
Exactly, because I can't do anything about it. You challenged me, but I can't do anything about it.
I thought we were talking about this, not if I was a man, because I'm not a man. So we're talking about me being a woman currently. Like, aren't we just?
So what are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't know why we keep going back. I've already said that, like, I don't agree with you.
Because it doesn't sound like you understand what happened.
I don't see it the way that you do, no. And sitting here trying to convince me is honestly futile. Like, it's not going to happen. And that is okay. And this is exactly what I'm saying. It is okay. Like, we can coexist with me having a different reality and you having a different reality.
Totally
That's
understand.
okay.
I'm not trying to get you to understand what you did. I'm trying to get you to understand why men don't show emotion. Because of what you did, whether you want to agree with doing it or not, is why men don't show emotion.
Actually, I agreed that I did it. I'm not disagreeing that it didn't happen.
Then how is it futile? Because what you did is why men don't show emotion.
Because I'm telling you that I don't agree with your point of view.
I'm not a man.
No, I'm telling you that that's your point of view and mine is
different. No, that's what happened. That's not a point of view. We can watch it back. That's what happened.
And even watching it back, everyone's going to have their own interpretation of it. We all have our own filters that we view life through. Like,
I suppose.
I think that women and men do things differently in the sense that, like, it is more black and white for men, and then for women we see every little detail because we are more empathetic. So that's where it's like colliding, is because we're just different. Different.
But at the end of the day, facts are the only thing that matters. If we were having to prove this conversation in court, they'd go on the evidence, which is you attacked his emotions after telling him that he should be able to be emotional.
I'm not gonna deny like anything that happened or anything like that. But I'm
that's
just saying,
all I'm saying. Is I understand that women definitely minds work different. You guys are better multitaskers. You have a lot more thoughts going on at one time. Men are deductive problem solvers, and we're looking for solutions and yes or no's, facts, black and white. That's how we move. But that's also how the world moves. Because if it was, let's figure all these things that may or may not matter out, we'd never get anywhere. So that's all I'm saying.
Make it make sense.
Exactly. It has to make sense, or and all the extra shit doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So, one thing you liked, one thing you didn't like.
I liked the entire conversation. It was a very involved conversation where everybody shared their opinions, and I appreciate the perspectives. I liked also that you guys could talk about the difficult things in a calmer setting after an intense one. That I respect from both of you guys. All three of you actually. So.
Alrighty. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all your comments, guys. Well, we can read some. She came up, she matched. You can't hide behind the guise of thinking differently, though. Yeah. Thank you guys for interacting. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Fucking subscribe, you guys. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you guys.
that's a good song.
You said what?